Hi everyone! In this video I'm going to teach you about something called diamond puzzles. And we'll start off fairly simply and then we'll move into harder and harder examples as we go through. I've got 6 examples here. And the reason why we're doing diamond puzzles is next week we're going to do something called trinomial factoring. And it turns out that this step of finding numbers that add and multiply to two numbers is a really critical step of factoring. So let's go through and we'll set up what a diamond puzzle is and then we'll get into some harder examples near the end. So the way it works is like this. You've got two numbers. So number 1 is up here, number 2 is down here. It doesn't really matter what order those two numbers are, but you've got two numbers, 2 and 5. And on the left-hand side, you're going to fill in what those two numbers add to, which is their sum. And on the right-hand side, you fill in what those two numbers multiply to, which is their product. So 2 plus 5 is 7, and 2 times 5 is 10. And so that's the first diamond puzzle. Second one, same idea. It's just one of the numbers is negative. So positive 8 plus negative 3 is positive 5. And a positive times a negative is negative. And 8 times 3 is 24. Now in this one, I have given you the sum, but not the product and not our second number. So let's figure this out. Negative 2 plus what is 7? Okay, so negative 2 means I've taken 2 away from whatever this number is down here. So the number down here would have to be 9, because 9 minus 2 is 7. And now I can fill out the product. Positive times negative is negative. 2 times 9 is 18. Or I could give you the product, but not the sum. So 4 times what is negative 12? Well, 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. And then 4 plus negative 3 is positive 1 is your sum. And now these next two examples are where this is actually what we really care about for diamond puzzles. When you know the sum and you know the product, but you don't know either number 1 nor do you know number 2. So let's see if we can figure this one out. We've got a sum of 1. Now, if both numbers were positive, the only way you could really do that would be 0 and 1. But thankfully, we've got a negative product. So since we have a negative product, this is actually possible. So we need to come up with two numbers that have, because this is negative, we're going to have one positive, one negative. So when you subtract them, we need to get positive 1. So we need numbers that have a difference of 1, essentially, that multiply to 72. So what multiplies to 72? So we could do factor pairs like 1 and 72, 2 and 36, and so on. But really, I want numbers that are really close together. So I'm going to go right to the end, and I know my 9 times tables. So this is 8 times 9. And sure enough, 8 and 9 have a difference of 1. So I'll fill in 8 and 9. And one of these needs to be negative. And since I've got a positive 1 here, I need my positive number to be bigger, which means the 8 has to be negative. Now, always a good idea to do a check step. So let's go through. Negative times positive is negative. 8 times 9 is 72, which is exactly what we want. And then 9 minus 8 is 1. Okay, so not only have we found the two numbers, but we took the time to check. This one here, same idea, except we've got a positive product. And since our product is positive, we need to get two positive numbers that add to 9. So 18, let's see, 18 could be 18 times 1, but 18 plus 1 is 19, way too big. It could be 9 times 2, that's too big. It could be 6 times 3, and sure enough, 6 times 3 is 18, and 6 plus 3 is 9. Now I want to change this question just a little bit. What if instead of negative or positive 9, it was negative 9? Would this change the question? Well, not really, because to get a positive 18, you either need to have positive 3 and positive 6, which is what we had the first time, or negative 3 and negative 6. And so if you've got a positive product and a negative sum, you're going to get two negative numbers. And if you've got a positive sum with a negative product, you're always going to have one negative number and one positive number. And that is diamond puzzles.